All right, here we are. We're gonna make our second salad. We are going to do an elote corn salad, which is a Mexican dish. And usually it's made on like a cob, you do it on the grill. But I personally like to make it as a salad or a dip with tortillas, just so it's not all over my face, which is okay. But this is easier for groups of people. You can do it a lot faster, making a big bunch of it and then put it in little cups for everyone, and it's tasty. So we're gonna start off, you can definitely, with the corn, you can grill it and then cut it off the cob. I've even done it with like canned corn that I drained and I sauteed. I personally like this bag of roasted corn that I get from a certain store down the street, Trader Joe's. And I'm gonna start with, this is gonna be my corn. And I'm going to saute some onion and garlic and jalapeno first. And we're gonna put it all together, okay? So you wanna take about half a red onion if you're just making like one batch. This should serve like, I don't know, 4 to 6 people. If you make bigger, obviously double everything. And if you like a lot of onion, add a lot of onion. If you like a lot of heat, add 2 jalapenos. If you don't like any heat, add a jalapeno. You can do a poblano. They're gonna be a little less spicy. So yeah, let's get started. I like red onion in this dish versus like yellow onion or white onion. I think it just tastes a little bit better, has a little bit different of a flavor. I use red onion in like a lot of salads. I don't usually like, cook it when I'm making like a meal. It's more like for cold stuff or something like this. Because, I like to use red onion when I make salsa, but I just think it tastes better. That is where all my stuff goes. So that is my garbage can. And we will clean it out later. So I got all that cooked. I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna get a little oil in the pan behind me. A little olive oil, avocado oil works well. You can use canola oil too. I just like olive oil, and that's what I use for like a lot of things. Just use like a little glug of that. Get it up to like a medium heat. Give it a second to get a little warm. We're gonna also get this jalapeno going. You get a lot of heat from the seeds in jalapenos, so you definitely want to seed it. You want to be careful that you don't touch your eyes or after you play with one of these. I've seen it happen. It wasn't pretty. I felt very bad for the person, so be careful when you're cooking with jalapenos.
Did it happen to you?
No.
So can you tell us in detail what happened, when this was?
Was it your husband?
It was not my husband. It was somebody else. Wow, this is sharp. This is sharp. So you can use a spoon. You can use your finger. Scratch up the innards. I'm just gonna use my finger because it works. But you definitely, if you're doing this, you definitely need to wash your hands and be mindful that you don't touch anything afterwards. On your face, don't scratch your eyes. Don't touch the puppy in his face. That would be really mean. Over the summer, I made this like skillet taco casserole, and I made sure I got pickled onions for it because I think they're fantastic and a great addition. And nobody in my family would eat them. They're like, they're so spicy. It's like, oh god.
You mean pickled jalapenos?
What did I say?
Pickled onion.
Pickled jalapenos. Yeah. And that's when I realized that I don't live in Connecticut anymore. It's because I like spicy stuff. When I grew up, everyone liked like black pepper. That was about as hot as it got. Alright, so we're gonna put the onion and the jalapeno in with the oil. Alright, while those are softening, I'm gonna get some garlic going. I love garlic. I probably use it more than any other ingredient ingredient. I know some people aren't big fans of garlic. I know, weird. But if you're not a huge fan of garlic, I suggest that you roast garlic. It makes it taste different. It makes it a lot sweeter, more mild. It's pretty easy. You can just take a whole head of garlic, chop off the top, wrap it in tin foil with a little olive oil, 350 for an hour, and you have like this delicious, like roasty, sweet version of raw garlic. It's great on bread. You can add it just like you would add anything else. It's just gonna give it a little flavor, like different flavor than raw garlic. But we're gonna just take a couple cloves. I'm a big fan also of this little doodad, which is a garlic press. So it makes everything real fine, like almost like a paste, and it's easier to disperse in a meal, I find. And it takes less time than chopping it. So we're gonna do that. And because garlic burns easily, you wanna make sure that like this is nice and getting soft before you add the garlic, because it doesn't take long before garlic burns and goes from tasty to not so tasty. Look at all that. Look at it. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit more. One more squeeze. Oh, it's so strong. Oh. I'll let it chill for a minute. The thing I learned in some cooking classes was you don't want to over stir stuff, which I definitely was guilty of when I first learned to cook, was to keep stir. No, just like let it chill for a minute, let it do its thing, walk away. All right, while that's cooking, basically we're almost done. I'm just gonna get some cilantro here chopped up. Cilantro is one of those things people either love or hate. Used to hate it. If it was in anything, I was like, bleh. But for whatever reason, I got older, things changed. I love cilantro. I put it in so much stuff. Such a like a fresh herb, has like a real pungent taste. And it's nice too because the stems are very soft, and so you don't have to like spend time getting all the stems off. You can just chop them up with it and just throw them in. So I'm just gonna roll this in. So we're gonna add our corn. This is the point where you would take it off the cob or open the can. In this case, I'm opening the bag. And we're gonna put it in with the jalapeno and onion and garlic. Even though it's frozen, it's only gonna take a couple minutes to completely thaw out. So, and the cold corn is actually going to keep like the garlic and stuff from like overcooking. It's going to cool down the pan a little bit. So let that hang out. We have our cilantro ready. We can start making the base to our elote, which I'm going to do part mayonnaise, sour cream. We're going to have some lime in there, cilantro. I have some chili powder, which is bomb, and Matt is gonna come over and he's gonna chop up some cotija cheese, which is like a salty crumbly cheese. Queso fresco works as well. I've seen people use feta if they can't find cotija. Cotija is usually, I find it in like the refrigerated cheese aisle. Yeah, I just really like it. It's great on tacos. It's great in scrambles. I like salty cheese, and that's a salty cheese. You're gonna want to do half mayonnaise. I forgot you had opened this mayonnaise. I was like, oh no! I'm like, you know, Matt made a sandwich with this. And half sour cream. A blob of each, and then obviously when you mix it and stuff, taste it, it might need a little bit more. Big fan of tasting as you go to see if things are coming together. I'm not a huge salt person, which I tend to like undersalt because growing up my mom had like high blood pressure, so she had like instilled this fear of salt. So I tend to undersalt things, which I've gotten in trouble for in cooking classes, where they're like,
salt is your friend.
Salt is your friend, and I was like, well, I don't want swollen legs, but okay.
How much of the cheese did you want me to do?
I would do like a third of that.
Okay.
And a lime. The lime's gonna give it a nice bright little.
You can use a fork or something to crumble this, but I'm gonna use my fingers because it's easier.
Okay. Let the people know. So I'm gonna start with half a lime, see how it is. You could always add more. This is one of those things kind of foolproof. As long as you have the basics, can't go wrong.
This is so crumbly.
Do you like a little bit now?
Oh yeah, the Elote bomb. I mean, mayo, cheese, corn. How could you go wrong?
Yeah. This.
Alright, cheese is good.
I need like another minute. Still a little cold.
You don't lick my fingers?
No. I draw a line. That is it.
If the films weren't rolling, who knows?
Depends on how many drinks you got in me.
Do you need another drink?
I'm gonna hit this with a little S&P.
Are you done with this mayo?
I don't know yet. I have to taste it.
Alright. I'd like to make sandwiches with it later, so.
Okay, mister, you eat food with mold on it. Matt served me a moldy sandwich once. Yeah, that's a true story.
And I cut the mold off.
Yeah, you did do that. You monster.
You survived. Wow. Did you eat it though?
So Matt was like, I'll make you a sandwich. And I'm like, oh, thanks, babe. I'm like chilling upstairs. I think I was actually sick at the time. I'm already like not feeling great. And he comes up and makes a sandwich. I'm halfway through the sandwich. And I'm like, did you go to the store and buy more bread? No.
I don't remember this story.
And why you started that way. I never trust you again.
Yeah, he makes all the sandwiches.
Alright, well now I'm always watching, okay? And I'm watching the bread, looking at taste. And I was like, dude, that bread's been there for like 3 weeks. And he was like, oh, I didn't use the moldy pieces. But like, wasn't joking. Like, he was like, yeah, I just didn't use the moldy pieces.
There you heard it. There was no mold on the sandwich because I didn't use the moldy pieces.
Who does that? Who does that? Like, did you take a health insurance policy out on me? Like a life insurance? Like, what was it? Did I do something?
No, you asked for a sandwich.
I have trust issues. From that. Ooh, where did I pick the corn though?
Roomba. Activate.
DJ Roomba. You guys watch Funday?
Yeah.
I don't even call it. Direct link.
Parks and Rec.
Okay, okay. Oh. Give it a mix. You want to get it all coated. So, this is one of those salads that some people like it warm. Again, I prefer it cold. But, yeah, you can eat it. So, if you're going to let it get cold, I wouldn't add the cotija right now. I would let this get cold before you add the cotija because then it's going to stay more firm and like you're going to get those salty little bits. But if you're in a pinch, just add it and gobble it up and call it a day. looking. Looks really fun. See that? See that cream? Alright. So we're gonna add some cookie. Oh, nobody is lactose intolerant. Add a little chili powder. Well, I add a little bit more than this. Again. Make it look pretty. If it's pretty, you will want to eat it. Chili powder. There you have it, folks. We got an elote salad. Do you want to see it? I like it. Isn't that pretty?
Can you show us over here too?
Cool. Do you want to try it then?
Sure.
Taste tester. No, don't eat. You would though.
Yep. Once again, I prefer the cold version, but it's good.
We don't have all day. Alright, cool.
It's good. The cilantro is money.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I mean, I could eat just cilantro by itself. It's so good.
What advice do you have for people who are intimidated by cooking?
I get it. Like, the first few meals I made were terrible. I remember the first meal I cooked for my mom, I was trying to do like a pasta primavera, and she took a bite out of it, and she was just like, no. And I was like, oh. So like, I get it, you fail. There's still things that like, when I cook every so often, we're just like, that ain't right. So you just want to pick something easy, something that you like, something that you're familiar with. Like, you love to eat pasta or steak, and like, just focus on that. If you fail 10 times, well, you should probably give up at that point.